As the loyal companion of both Princess Zelda and the champion Link, Terrako is quite the busy little guardian. After standing to the side in a support role for much of the adventure, this diminutive little hero finally becomes playable in the endgame of Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. And along with his services, he brings quite the interesting playstyle as well. Let's spin on in and find out what he can do. Terrako's regular attack string consists of 7 attacks. He will slash left, right, left again, thrust forward, spin attack forward, do a double slash, and then finish with a diving attack forward that ends in another double slash. For Terrako's dashing regular attack, he will bust out some spears and throw them forward, before then being able to transition into his regular attack string. Terrako's strong dash attack has him do a running attack, and like all other strong dash attacks, he will continue moving after it. This is a really good way to pick up KOs or gain special attack charge while on the move. However, you'll want to use his other dash attack when you're trying to stop and dig into a longer fight. For his regular aerial attacks, Terrako will enter into an aiming stance, hovering midair while you take aim and shoot off 3 volleys of lasers, after which he will fall back down to the ground. His strong aerial attack is a lot more standard, which is just a spinning dive back down. For the last part of this section, let's cover Terrako's Sheikah Slate runes. First off, his Stasis rune will have him time lock the enemies in front of him before entering into an animation that has him shoot out lots of little lasers. Like with most other Stasis animation attacks, this can be dodge cancelled out of so that you can do other attacks, although it really isn't too bad just on its own. Next, for Terrako's Cryonis rune, he will send out a large cage made out of ice, which actually does lock your enemies inside. However, you can both mutually attack each other as long as you're within range. The large size of this Cryonis object makes it great for countering Cryonis weak moves. It's actually pretty hard to miss with it. While it is fun to make a little prison for your foes, in general, using your Sheikah Slate runes in a way that doesn't then reveal enemy weak point gauges is not very efficient. Moving on to his Magnesis rune, Terrako will fish for any available weapons to grab, and if successful, he'll hold them in place while you redirect the spinning vortex of damage. Like other Magnesis runes, if there is nothing for him to grab, the rune will simply fail, although it will not then start up your rune cooldown. Last up, for his Remote Bomb rune, Terrako will throw out 4 bombs before lasering them midair, which will create a cone of explosions to the front of him. With all of his most basic attacks now covered, let's move on to his unique action and then strong attacks next. Terrako's unique action starts out simple, but it becomes a lot more interesting once you've upgraded it. Initially, just pressing the unique action button will have him fire out a small laser, and these can be rapid fired out if you continue to mash the button. This laser can be fired out at just about any time, regardless of what Terrako happens to be doing, which allows for it to be used as a lot of extra damage at the expense of possibly injuring the muscles in your fingers. Terrako is able to charge this shot by holding the button for a short time, which when released will send out a much more powerful beam than the smaller repeated shots, and this is a lot more efficient than mashing the weak lasers. There are 2 levels of charge to this beam, and like with the smaller repeated shots, both can be used without interrupting whatever Terrako is doing. These laser blasts add a lot to his damage output, and if you fire them out during his strong attacks, you'll sometimes get a slightly different animation. Speaking of which, let's take a look at those strong attacks now. For his first strong attack, Terrako will summon some power until he both makes a small circular attack and also summon in 2 orbs that hang at either side of him. These orbs do nothing until you start to use his unique action laser, adding in 2 additional shots of whatever you choose to use. When combined with the fully charged laser, these 3 full beams can deal a significant amount of damage, able to clear out groups entirely if focused, as well as cutting through larger enemies' health. Next up, for his second strong attack, Terrako will stop and do a quick energy blast, all before releasing a volley of shots which fly up and then home in on your nearest major enemy. This is a decent, if a bit slow attack, however, you can also just use it while out of range of your foe to get some free damage from the homing blasts, which are still going to fire out. Terrako's third strong attack has him begin to whirl the blades around himself and then launch into a charge. This attack can do a lot of damage, however, if you hit any large foes, Terrako will come to a complete stop until the animation ends, often leaving him easy to counterattack by your enemies. While this isn't the best move in combat, it does make a good tool for cutting down enemy weak point gauges after locking them with stasis. For Terrako's 4th strong attack, he will fire a short laser that creates an orb-like object just in front of him. Like with the orbs from his 1st strong attack, this one is meant to be interacted with by his laser, and short blasts into it will create a pulse that damages enemies nearby, and a fully charged laser will explode the orb, sending energy in all directions around it. For Terrako's 5th strong attack, he will leap up and start helicoptering while creating a whirlwind just in front of him that sucks in and damages enemies. While all of these attacks have some kind of special charged laser animation that go with them, this move probably has the one most specific to it, as Terrako will fire a vertical laser, slicing at the enemies that you have captured in your whirlwind. Last up, for his 6th and final strong attack, Terrako will go dashing back and forth to his front, ending with a final lightning blast all around him. The last part of this move will actually force out enemy weak point gauges, which of course you'll want to time lock with the stasis rune. I really like how much movement Terrako puts into this move before his final important blast, and all in all, it's just a great attack. Well, with all of his moves now covered, let's move on to Terrako's weapons and weapon build recommendation next. Terrako has 3 possible weapons, and going from weakest to strongest, they are the Blessed Screw, Benevolent Spring, and Gear of the Protector. I'll put a chart up on screen right now to show off their hidden level 25 and 30 seals, but for my weapon build recommendation today, I'm going to be focusing on his Gear of the Protector. Due to Terrako's best weapon already coming with 2 square seals, in order to get the best damage buff of plus 20, I would most likely recommend adding in 2 more square-shaped attack speed seals, and then 2 other star-shaped seals, preferably strong attack damage seals. While this is my preferred build, you can of course just go with full attack speed seals for a reduced damage buff of plus 15. And just like that, we have Terrako covered. Let's put everything together to see how this little guy ends up. Terrako is certainly a character with a lot of potential, as he comes with a powerful moveset that allows him to dish out a tremendous amount of damage. However, it also requires a bit of skill at spinning plates. Unlike with other charge mechanics that play into other characters' movesets, such as Teba's chargeable arrow, there's just never a bad time to start charging up Terrako's laser. And in order to play him effectively, you'll need to quickly become accustomed to timing out his lasers while constantly fighting with him like normal. Personally, that's not really a playstyle that I enjoy all that much, but the potential of Terrako's fighting style is undeniable. For those that he gels with, Terrako is a veritable wrecking ball that will tear apart the battlefield in a flurry of beeping sounds and blasted lasers. And for them, I hope that you enjoy. So, what do you think of Terrako? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and also if there was anything major that I missed, be sure to drop that down there as well. I'll be making a pinned comment on this video if I need to, for anything big that I may have forgotten about. Until next time everybody, thank you so much for watching. Big thank you to my top patrons DW7 Still Rules, Henry Gutierrez, and Ryan Poe, as well as to all of my other patrons on Patreon. If you would like to support this channel and my main channel Shanebrained, check out the links in the description. Thank you all very much.